Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo, mother truckers! Good morning. Good morning, guys. Bitcoin battling 17K as we await the Powell speech. Well, we got some good things to happen this morning before Powell speaks, so we'll talk about those today. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm on coffee number 2 as always as we start the stream. I used to be on coffee number 3 about this time, but holy moly, we're only on coffee number 2. So we're still waking up a little bit. Howdy. Remember back in the days where I said howdy this randomly? This one time I was like howdy, and I was like, did I really just say howdy? Like, am I really a cowboy at this point? Who says howdy anymore? Does anyone say howdy out there? Probably some of you guys that are from the South. I don't know. I haven't heard anyone say howdy in, I can't even remember the last time I heard someone say howdy. And it's really weird. Like, imagine if someone just came up to you and said howdy. I would just, and it wasn't a joke. It was serious. I would be a little bit weirded out, if I'm going to be honest. Rafi, what's going on, buddy? Philly, you ain't going to be trolling me with that, buddy. You ain't going to be trolling me with that, Philly. What's going on, Philly? Good to see you, buddy. Bam Bam, Rod. We got Skillful, Wayne, Keith, Big Don. We got the Big Don in here. I don't know if your name is actually Big Don, but I'm going to call you Big Don. I think it's Bigden, but it's Big Don to me. That sounds a little bit more, a little bit more cool, right? Because you're the Big Don, man. All right, let's take a sip of coffee here. B Water, what's going on, buddy? He said howdies. Howdies nuts. All right, let's jump on in today. So what do we got Bitcoin doing? So Bitcoin got a rise. We know last night it was a little bit of a fun stream. We actually got some price action on the stream last night. That was freaking awesome. We got a nice rise up to about 17,080. We now pulled back a little bit to 16,040. And where are we, guys? I mean, at the end of the day, we're still fighting this 17K level. But are there any things that could push us a little bit higher or send us back and back down to 15,500? Anything in today that could send us there? Well, there was some good news this morning, okay? Before we get into the charts, there was some quote-unquote good news. I mean, it's good news for the markets. It's bad news for people who work. Okay, I mean, we've always sort of said this, like, the good things we want to see happen are actually bad things, and it's kind of a backwards world we live in at the current moment, but that's the world we're at. If we look over here, private hiring increased by just 127,000 jobs in November, well below the estimate. So the estimate was coming in around 190,000 was the estimate, and we came in at 127,000 new jobs. So you're seeing the growth rate of jobs come down a little bit, which is a good sign, albeit it being, sort of a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. That is still a good sign. Now, we have Powell speaking at 1:30 today, okay? That is going to be very interesting to see how he words everything. We know the Fed minutes was a little bit... They added some bullish language in the Fed in the Fed minutes a couple, I think it was last week. And could Powell be a little bit, lenient on us today? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when the time comes. But I don't want to speculate on that stuff. Let's focus on the charts this morning. We'll recap what Powell says tonight at 7 p.m. in the 7 p.m. stream coming up here. But if you guys haven't already, smack up that like button. We hit 600 likes on yesterday's stream. I think that's the most likes we've ever gotten in a bear market stream since Bitcoin was probably above 50,000. So that's pretty freaking awesome. If we can smack up that like button, let's get the... I mean, the morning stream's a little bit less crowded usually, but let's hit 300 on the morning stream. Let's freaking do it. All right, so what do we got here? On the 4-hour time frame, we're flirting with the 17K level, man. We got that nice breakout yesterday. Nice volume on that move up. What I find interesting on this current candle, right? Let's go to the 1-hour time frame real quick. What I find interesting about this at the current moment is I'm looking at the sell pressure, right? When we came back up and we tested, right, this level up here, and then we got a rejection, the sell pressure was pretty freaking non-existent. You see this over here, right? If we look at the volume down here, and we look at, okay, the move up was pretty freaking good, right? We want to see, what the heck? Trading View, what are you doing, buddy? Stop lagging on me, man. It's too early to lag. Lag later if you want. I don't got the brain cells for this morning, man. Come on, bro. Let's see. We look over here, okay, and we see, okay, the moves up, the green candles have been coming in with a good amount of volume. You see the volume on this move, but the moves down, you can see that the volume is just lackluster. Whereas some of these other times where we came up to test this level, right? I mean, not necessarily that time, but we look over here, we got rejected with some pretty big, hefty volume on those rejections. Now, that could mean that it's still to come, right? Doesn't not necessarily mean that, the volume just can't come in out of nowhere. Maybe it comes in later today, right? Powell comes out and smacks us back down to reality. Who freaking knows? But I'm looking at this right now and I say, okay, we've came back down. Did we come back down a little bit further? Maybe. But I'm looking at this right now and I say, okay, why can't this be just sort of a bull flag formation that's getting us ready to push us back up? Now, we're right under resistance. So what do we always like to say, guys? Okay, respect resistance until it's not resistance. 17K is a big level, right? Psychological level, even 17K level, but we obviously got the big rise up. We're sort of coming down a little bit of a channel. I still don't hate this to get that ultimate rise back up to like 17,300, up a little bit higher here. I still think Bitcoin's got some juice, my friends. Okay, you can be up to your debate, right? We sort of said if Bitcoin's going to get a move up, we want to see it soon. It's going down. It's going up a little bit, right? We haven't really gotten anywhere yet. I want to get out of this range before we get too excited here. But it's getting up. I like this to move up a little bit higher. It's also shown on the Ethereum chart, which we'll go over in a second. But short-term time frames, I still like this to break up, man. I still like this to break up. And if we go to the 4-hour time frame real quick, I still like the big area that I'm watching here is these sort of wicks on these shorter term time frames, upwards of like 17,500 to 17,600. Really up in this range. It will be the key level that I'm watching. If Bitcoin can smack this and we don't get some deviation above and we start to come back down, that's really the level I'm watching in the short term. But I still like Bitcoin's short-term price action. I don't see anything that's like alarming, like, any bearish divergence or anything like that. So I'm going to stick with the mantra that we still got some upside. All right. And I'll show you guys what I mean. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Yo, what's going on, man? We pumping after the Powell speech? Hey, that could certainly happen. I mean, we only have 3 hours until Powell's speaking, so could we certainly continue down in this, like up, down, for 3 more hours? Sure. And that would actually be better, because then we just take this vector candle below and then sort of be on our way. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a move up to like 17,500, to be honest. Still in the short term, right? Now, let's come back over here real quick. Let me see you guys are saying in the chat. Lambo confirmed. Lambo 17,500. We all getting Lambos, boys. We all getting Lambos in the chat this morning at 17,500. Who would have known? Who would have known? Let's see. Mike, get out of here, man. Mike, me and you got good taste, my friend. Me and you got good taste. I like what I'm saying. Dan, what's going on? He said, morning fam and happy birthday, Chief. Thank you, man. I am now 721 years old, okay? 721, you can drink just like when you turn 21, you know? Oh, man, I made some good-ass coffee today, guys. If you ever want some good coffee, let me know. I'll send you some, because I make the best coffee in the game. It's not even a question. Like, my coffee tastes like you went to a diner and you ordered some coffee, and you just sip on it and you go, ah. That's what my coffee tastes like, okay? So I just want to let you know. Remember I used to bitch about my coffee? Now it's the best. Okay, let's go over a few things. So real quick, before we jump on in some, I guess, higher term time frames for Bitcoin, let's go over what the stock markets are doing. So the S&P, this is the S&P futures. I was looking for the S&P to break up today, okay? And I still think it will. You got the DXY coming down today, which is a perfect recipe for the S&P to come to the upside, right? And why are we looking for the S&P to come up? And if the S&P comes up, we can expect Bitcoin to come up. Well, we got support. We're right at support, okay? You had the 2 hour MACD flipping over bullish, and you also had a falling wedge. What did we do? We broke up from the falling wedge. We've now back tested. Now, up at least until Powell speaks here at 1:30. I am expecting the S&P to make its way back up to the upside here in the ultimate short term. The invalidation, S&P breaks this, and that would probably constitute Powell being a little bit more bearish than we want him to be, okay? But in the short term, hey, I like this pattern, and I do like the S&P ultimately coming back up to test this big downtrend of resistance here, right? 1, 2, 3. Every single major rally for the S&P has came up and gotten rejected from this level right here. So that's the level I'm looking for at the S&P to be like, okay, let's have some caution here. This is the level where the S&P could start turning back over, my friends. Okay, so let's have some caution here as we sort of go along. But that's sort of the S&P. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I still think that looks pretty decent for today. Assuming Powell doesn't crush our dreams and our hopes and everything else in between. I'm hoping we get some price action for Bitcoin this morning. I wouldn't doubt it. Especially as we sort of go live on the market open here. American Diner Coffee sucks ass. Dan, you suck ass, man. Holy Lord. My coffee is better than American Diner Coffee, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to say, it's what's kept me alive during this bear market is my coffee making skills. Okay, if it wasn't for my coffee, I'd be dead by now. I'm just saying. All right, so that's what we got for the S&P. The DXY also coming down a little bit today. What we want to see for the DXY, and this is a big level. We're sort of talking, okay, the DXY looks like it's making a little bit of a W formation. Can this smack down? And I want to make this clear. We haven't seen it yet, but if the DXY breaks this range here, I think it's got a big drop in it back down to this $100 range where you'd be testing some key levels looking left from all the way back here from March of 2020, right? You're pretty much back at the March of 2020 highs if that breaks, in my opinion. So, man, this will be interesting to see what the DXY does at this level. I would say that you're still at a big support. You know, I got to respect support until it's broken, but I guess you are showing some weakness at the current time here at this level. So the DXY, hey, we'll keep watching that, but I don't think anyone cares about the DXY right now. But we got to pay attention to it, my friends. Everyone cares about what Bitcoin's going to do next. Bitcoin's in a bull flag. Can we get the juice back up? We're at the 17K level. We're sitting right there like a freaking hot potato on steroids. No, but here we go. This price action to me, just like we said yesterday, reminds me a lot of this price action up here, right? Big downtrend of resistance. We break up to the upside, and then ultimately we get crushed back down to earth. You know, so far, we've seen it. Handleton, what's going on, buddy? Handleton's back in the game. What's going on, buddy? Good to have you back in the chat. Good to have you back in the chat, my man. Handleton's been watching the stream for I don't even know how long. A lot of you guys have been watching my stream for way too long, guys. I'm surprised you guys are still sane at this point after listening to me ramble every single day. But, you know, same stuff. Man, if I could talk. Same type of point. Break up to the upside of the 3-day. You got 3-day momentum wave. Flipping back over positive, which is a big sign. Last time we saw that was on September 28th. Obviously, was that little, you know, precursor to the move back up to, you know, which was a precursor to about a 15% move up for Bitcoin, which if that happened again, right, 50% move up for Bitcoin would put Bitcoin back up at ding, right about 19K, which it seems that to be the point where everyone's looking at Bitcoin does need a decent move to the upside. Everyone's looking at that 19K level. Why? That's the level for me, right? Anything below 19K is noise, guys. Let's not get too carried away, okay? As much as I want to sit here and be like, I'm bullish, right? Or I'm bearish, right? One or the other. At the end of the day, I can't get too bearish on Bitcoin as it drops to 15K. I mean, to me, if you're getting bearish at Bitcoin at 15K, it's like, what's your strategy here? You know what I mean? Like, what is your strategy? Are you waiting for a specific number? Okay, you can do that if you want. At the same point, okay, you can't get too bullish on Bitcoin until it breaks 19K. Now, this is all fun and games, and we're going to have fun as long as Bitcoin continues up. We're going to have a little fun in here, but that's the level we got to continue to watch is this underside, this underbelly, okay? It's like Jabba's big belly. You see this? This is one of Jabba's tits. This is one of Jabba's tits, okay? Until you break back above Jabba's tits, all right? Which you got some pretty hardcore nipples coming out of these tits. You see this nipple right here? Woo! That's a nipple, Jabba. Until we get back above Jabba's tits at about 19K, remain a little bit, what I like to say, vigilant, which I don't even think works for that standpoint. I don't even think vigilant even makes sense for that. But, you know, anything under here, man, could just be a rejection. But, hey, we stay vigilant, and that's what we do, okay? It is hand telephone? No, it's not hand telephone to me. It's Handleton to me, okay? It is Handleton. Now, today's the monthly close. We'll go over the monthly close for Bitcoin a little bit later, but man, here's what I want to see on the monthly close for Bitcoin. And it's not like it's like this huge thing where if it doesn't happen, Bitcoin's going to zero, or if it does happen, Bitcoin's going to 69K. No, it's more of just I'd like to see this. You know, it would be pretty cool. So Bitcoin's at 16,800. A close back above 17,222 would get it back above this January 18 wick. Okay, we got 9 hours into the monthly close here. What will happen on the monthly close today? Today, I think will be an interesting day. I think it will be. It's these monthly closes tend to always be a little volatile. And you have Powell speaking today at 1:30. Oh, come on, man! You're setting us up. You're setting us up for some juiciness. But you know, close above 17,222, I think would be super good, right? Because then you all of a sudden you're back above, I guess, the wick support on the monthly. You close below. The next level is 13,800. Just looking at it logistically, right? January 2018 highs and the June 2019 wick high. So let's see if we can do it. We're gonna need all our Vikings in here tonight. Okay. All our Vikings are going to need to be present for the monthly close tonight as we try to get along with that. Philly, what's going on? Prediction for 12:15 to 12:30? Man, I think the CPI is going to come in lower. Okay, I think inflation is going to be shown to continue to go down, which will be a good sign. I think my thing on the FOMC meeting coming up on the 13th is, I think what Powell's going to say is going to have to do a lot what the markets are going to do up until that point. If the markets are going nuts because everyone's like getting too bullish, does Powell come in with the hammer and sort of temper expectations again? If the market's kind of struggling up until the FOMC meeting, which I actually think the markets are going to go up until that point. Bearing you get some freaking new exchange that goes down. Then I think Powell would put his foot on the gas a little bit. I think it depends a lot on what happens. So I still think Powell is going to be typical Powell, and whenever Powell speaks, we sort of get a little bit of tempered expectations, you know. Let me see. Why did I make Bitcoin dump? I don't know why I made Bitcoin dump, but that's what I tend to do. So that's what we got for BTC. A couple other interesting charts we can look at here real quick is Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum real quick. So Captain Ethereum, what do we got going on? So Ethereum also broke out to the upside. And listen, it looks pretty good, but where are we at with Ethereum? Still below the level we want to get back above for ETH ultimately, right? We got all these previous lows still just acting as resistance right here, right? So if we look at this very basically, let's not get too carried away with this indicator, that indicator, this indicator. We're sitting right below resistance. We break this level, we're most likely going to the 0.5 retracement. Let's keep it super simple. People make this shit way too difficult, man. You know, at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to, right? You have sellers at this point. If the sellers get taken out, you go to the next level where there's sellers, right? Let's keep it simple. So that 0.5 retracement, you know, at about 1363 is where I'm looking for Ethereum if Bitcoin's max 17K, okay? Which is, like we said, at 13,072. So we'll look at that level. That's also previous highs looking left. And then that's really it, right? I mean, that's what we got. We got the breakout, but does a breakout mean you have to go higher? No, I mean, not necessarily. You got the breakout here, and then you sort of got crushed back down. So that's where we're at for ETH. Same type of deal. I like the ETH chart at the current moment, and I actually think we come up higher than that. But I want to stay, relatively vigilant as we sort of go along here, and say that, you know, nothing's guaranteed, but I still like coming up and taking this daily vector candle up here, man. You know, I sort of look at this and I say, man, a lot of people went short right here. Are they really going to leave them up there? We said that a couple days ago. Everyone was saying yes. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case right now. So 618 retracement, 1448 is my ultimate target there. But that's really that. George said we have more international adoption. What, did one random KFC from from the wilderness in Australia adopt BTC? Holy moly, man. A random KFC adopted Bitcoin. Woohoo! Woohoo! Let's go. Let's go, man. KFC. Oh, man. You gotta love it. Let's see. Back to staying vigilant. Woohoo! KFC adopted Bitcoin. Oh, lordy. All right. Brazil adopted Bitcoin? Yeah, they could. I mean, there's been rumors of countries, and there's been rumors. We haven't got anything since El Salvador, right? And the case was like, we're going to see 3 new countries by the end of 2021.
Nope.
So we'll see where that goes. Once again, I like to temper my expectations with that stuff, right? Anyways, spam those wings. Spam those wings. All right. What else we got? Let's see what we got in the markets going on. So the Nasdaq's coming up. And the S&P is actually red. So the S&P's red, Nasdaq's green. Interesting there. Usually you see those two pretty much correlated. I actually want to zoom in a little bit on ETH too. I want to get this set up and ready. Look at Ethereum, man. Sitting right at resistance with the flag. Oh, man. I actually love Ethereum's chart. Look at Ethereum, man. Look at this. Oh, my Lord. This looks sexy for in a little bit. Doesn't have to break out now, but... Excuse me. I'm burping up a storm over here, guys. This is giving me A little bit of sexiness. I don't know about you guys, but this is making me a little bit horny. A little bit horny. Let me see where this would put. This would put Ethereum up at like 1326. Actually, that's the exact level we said earlier. So that's pretty cool. So there we go. We'll see if this breaks out for Ethereum. It's the same shit as Bitcoin. You'll probably see this on a lot of altcoin charts too, my friends. All right. How did you miss the law passed by Brazil? I missed it like a friggin' villain, man. You know why? Because all I see is my timeline is this freaking SBF shit. Can I do a rant alert real quick?
Rant alert.
I am so sick of hearing and talking about damn SBF, okay? I'm over this FTX shit, okay? Listen, it happened. Let's get over it. Holy shit, it's been so drawn out and so dried up for clicks. And I'm like, dude, enough with SBF. It's annoying at this point, dude. Holy guacamole. I'm so sick of hearing about that shit. Let's move on. Lord. Anyways, let's jump back into the stuff that we're talking about here. Okay. No, but actually, I didn't hear about that jumper. To be all honest with you, I'll have to look that up after the stream. The law passed by Brazil. Hopefully, it's not a random KFC in the wilderness. You know, that'd be nice. Rant alert. Sorry, guys. I know you guys hate when I slurp my coffee. I can't help but drink it like that, man. I can't. All right. Let's see where we're at with some of this other stuff that we've been looking at here. I think, to me, the most interesting chart, and I know you guys hate talking about this chart, but the Bitcoin SPX chart. This was the point I was looking for a bounce. So far, it's been absolutely perfect. And I know you guys like to say, oh, whenever we sort of look at macro charts, they usually end up playing out pretty well. You remember the Euro chart? You remember the Euro chart you guys used to shit on me for? And I said the Euro was going to bounce from this level, and you guys used to shit on me. Since then, the Euro has been freaking crushing against the dollar, man. But this is the next chart that's getting me a little bit horny for macro moves, is the Bitcoin versus SPX chart. What is this chart? It's Bitcoin comparative to the S&P, right? Which we know if Bitcoin's going to outpace the S&P, right? Is that a sign that markets don't get hammered? You know what I mean? Because usually when the markets get hammered, the S&P outpaces Bitcoin. But on this one, you're at the 786 retracement, you're at the 2019 peak, you're at the 2018 peak, and you got a big ass clean falling wedge, man, with 4 clean touch points on the bottom, 3 clean touch points on the top. This ain't one of those falling wedges where you have 2 touch points and you're sort of trying to conform to your bullish bias. No, this is a pretty clean one. Okay, and if it wasn't clean, I'd say, it's pretty shady. This one's pretty clean, man. So you're getting a perfect bounce from this level so far. Will this one play out? Time will tell. We'll keep watching it. I'm not going to bank on this, but this gets me a little bit horny. I'm not going to lie, going into 2023. So, you know, we'll tame our horniness. we'll keep our little thing down, okay? And then if we start breaking out, we can start untaming ourselves there. Holy moly! I don't see anything on CoinDesk about Brazil. No crying Jack Mahler doing nothing. Lord, man, the memes. Some of you guys got some good ass memes. I'll tell you that. You got some good ass memes. Where is the red hat? Oh my god, the damn Santa hat, man. We got to do it midstream. It doesn't matter if we do it midstream. It's the powers are still to be. Okay? The powers are still to be. You know why I didn't have my hat on? Because I jumped in the shower right before the stream, and I was like, dude, I got to get on stream. They're going to start bitching and trolling me about being late. They're going to call me late. Hashtag late boy. Hashtag never on time. Hashtag Jordan is sick. He's going to cancel the stream. I can already see the trolling. So I hopped in the shower quick. I hopped on right before the stream here. But we got the LFAT back on. We're back ready and rolling. And now Bitcoin's going to start breaking out to the upside. Okay? And I'm sorry for stalling for the LFAT. Actually, since last night, since I took the LFAT off last night, Bitcoin actually went down. Now watch it pump. I'm telling you, the LFAT is the way for the LFAT. All right. So we talked about the S&P chart. Let me see what you guys are saying. You look like Late boy is real. Jordan, please don't go on vacation. Vacation is January 25th to the 31st. Okay? That's the time where you got to stay vigilant. Every single vacation I go on, we dump. So, will I sell my crypto on January 24th? Maybe. Maybe I will. I don't know. And then I'll buy it back when I come back. It seems to be the game plan whenever I go on vacation. Okay. So we talked about Bitcoin there. We talked about the longer term charts on Bitcoin. The daily, I would say at this point, is looking good. But I don't want this daily candle to be like this big rejection candle with a wick on the top side. I don't want to see that. So a move up today, I would like. Okay. And I think everyone would like that. Okay. If we sort of have a big wick on the top side here, we get this little rejection. I would say you still just range bound and nothing's really changed. Okay. As Savvy would say,
nothing has changed.
A 90-cent near mid-December. What is near at now? A 90-cent near mid-December? I mean, you're at 170. So they're basically projecting a 70% drop in the next 2 weeks for near. I would say that's, bearing some catastrophic event, which, I mean, let's be honest. Crypto this whole year has been catastrophic event after catastrophic event after catastrophic event. I think at this point, I can't say bearing some catastrophic event because the whole year for crypto has been catastrophic. No. It's kind of a meme at this point, bearing a black swan, and then sort of all of a sudden the black swan comes across the screen. I think we need to add a black swan to the stream because there's a black swan every 2 seconds for crypto lately. But, I guess bearing another black swan, which, I mean, like I said, it's been a year of the black swan for crypto. Near dropping to 70 cents in the next 2 weeks. I think that's relatively unlikely. Is it impossible? No. It was at $3 not too long ago. Back, it was like in November. So, I mean, that was the FTX saga. So, we shall see. I mean, right now, you're sort of sitting right at support. Am I terribly surprised that a news article is getting bearish at support? No. That's what they typically do. And then they get bullish at the highs, saying, oh, Near's going to be, at the highs, Near's going to be $100 in the next 2 weeks. And then at the lows, it's Near's going to be 50% lower in the next 2 weeks. That's the news article cycle. Okay. But no, right now, I mean, Near is at a critical support on the longer term time frames on the weekly. So I can't get too bearish at support, man. Does it eventually break? Maybe. Okay, sure. Still, I look up at this chart and I say, you're at support. Does it move back up here to take this weekly vector to retrace, to test the underside of this previous support? And then a move back down makes sense, yeah, because things usually move in waves. I think, you look at every major move down, right? Major move down, retrace. Major move down, still expect to retrace back up. Not just a insta dump straight back down to the oblivion of crypto. You need some liquidity. You need some exit liquidity there. You haven't got that yet. Let's see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still chilling like a villain right now, by the way. But yeah, near going to 70 cents in the next few weeks, I think that's pretty unlikely. Unless you see, like Grayscale or some shit get absolutely trounced in crypto, Let's see. Jabba got a necklace with a black swan. Java loves the Black Swan events. That's like his cookies right now, his Black Swan events. All right. Now, I guess, let me see what else you guys said. Let's see. Jordan, you're the best. Cool. Thank you. Why does VeChain never pump in any bull market? Why does VeChain never pump in any bull market? What do you mean? VeChain killed it in 2021, man. What do you want? What are you smoking, Franco? Or do you mean in the bear market? To be fair, I mean, did anything really crush it in the bear market? I mean, outside of, nothing went up this time around. Nothing went up in the bear market. Not one coin went up. Chainlink did last time. But I mean, outside of some coins that held up pretty well, right? Outside of BNB, right? BNB held up like a freaking tank in the bear market, man. Outside of BNB, outside of, I mean, it's really not much that held up like really well. There was some other ones like Chili's held up pretty well. What else held up pretty freaking well? Uniswap. I mean, yeah, you could argue that actually Uniswap didn't really hold up too well. I mean, it was really BNB. BNB was the one that held up like a rock. Ethereum up into the merge held up like a rock too. You know. Let's see. Matic pump. Yeah, Matic held up really, really well too. I can't hate on Matic. Matic held up. Yeah, I forgot about Matic. Outside of like Matic and BNB, everything like really shit the bed. That's why I actually really like those two for the future is Matic and BNB showing strength in bearish times. Imagine in bullish times, man, you know? So those are two that you got to pay attention to, right? Obviously, they're staples at this point, BNB and Matic. Who hasn't heard of those? But I think it's important to stick to the ones that show strength in bad times. You know? Excuse me. It's Dan's birthday today? Gotta go, fam. Morning shit show. Everyone have a good day. Like and subscribe. Later, Dan. Have a good day, man. Have a good day, buddy. No, but I think right now, guys, we're sort of waiting for that speech from Fed Chairman Powell at 1:30 p.m., which should give us a little volatility in the markets. Right now, markets are chilling, right? Everyone's, I think, the market's going to kind of wait and see what happens with that stuff. You look at Bitcoin, it went up a little bit this morning, but really since early morning this morning, sideways, right? You look at really the stock markets here, since the early morning, sideways. You know, NASDAQ, you look at the same thing. Look at the NASDAQ here real quick. Sideways. The markets are chilling, waiting to see what the Powell man, what the Powell the Shall has to say. Okay, Powell the Shall. And it'll be interesting to see. I'm very, very curious. Some altcoins did pretty well. There's still altcoins that... let's look at some of these alts, right? We talked about Uni yesterday. Uni, I still think has a really, really good setup, even though it's came up a little bit. Uni is at that spot, which looks sexy. Sexy. I still really like Uni to come up and test the trend line here. Just makes sense from a logical standpoint. Some other ones here. Litecoin. Here's the thing with Litecoin, right? Everyone getting hyped on Litecoin. Litecoin is in a pretty obvious rising wedge. So be careful on Litecoin here, as it kind of had its run before everything else. Litecoin, I'd look for, you know, we sort of said if it can't close the daily back above this wedge, it's going to have a hard time. But once again, like it's too early to say for this because if Powell ends up saying some good stuff at 1:30 today and Bitcoin gets a move above 17K, listen, Litecoin will be up here, you know, so. It's important to wait till 1:30 today, guys. I think you know it might be a nothing burger. Hey, at the end of the day, it might be a nothing burger, but what he says could like kind of tip the scales and sort of okay, it's going to be a nothing burger when it's all said and done. But what is he going to cause a little bit of volatility in the short term that gives us a little push to the downside and to the upside? That's the big question here. So Litecoin, big rising wedge. I got to assume that you know this ends up breaking down as falling riders wedging breaks to the downside. Ooh, holy moly. Breaks to the downside 69% of the time. Let's see what else we got here. Anything else really juicy? So FOMO Litecoin. If you want to FOMO Litecoin, you can FOMO Litecoin, man. You do what you want to do. Doge. All the Doges out there. Man. Got a nice little move up last night, but now is coming down a little bit. But Doge, I would say, is coming back down to an interesting point. Like, look where Doge is right now, right? We were talking about this little bit of, it was sort of an inverse head and shoulders, you know, cup and handle. I would say more of cup and handle pattern. If you look at some of these, like the 4-hour time frame here. Let's look at where Doge is. So Doge, a little bit of a cup, a little bit of a handle, a breakout, and now you're seeing a back test, right? So as Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of try to form little flags, Doge comes down and tests the neckline of the cup and handle from yesterday. Okay, so we need to watch. Does Doge break the neckline back to the downside? If it does, I think you're coming all the way back down to 8 cents. So we got to watch this very, very carefully for Doge. But at the meantime, I mean, you're holding the neckline. You ain't doing too shabby right now. I actually don't mind where Doge is as a retest of this level here. So the Doges, we made our way up to that resistance level. Can we break it? It's just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin finds itself right at resistance. Here's Doge finding itself right at resistance. Here's Ethereum finding itself right at resistance. Is it a coincidence they all find themselves there at the same time? Absolutely not, my friends. Jordan, let's make a coin called Trash Bag Coin. Guarantee some billionaire will formal into it. No, I will never make a coin, man. I will never make my own coin. You know why I'll never make my own coin? Because that always goes badly. It always goes badly, man. Listen, I don't need to make my own coin, man. People who do that just they can't really do anything else. Just being honest. So I mean, we will never do that over here on this channel. Let's see. Do you answer your own question? I do answer my own question all the time. If you guys don't know, I always go, does Bitcoin do this? Well, I think I sort of do a question back and forth, a Q&A with myself. That's what we tend to do here. Let me see. 3 hours and 10 minutes till speech. Yeah, we got 3 hours and 10 minutes until Fed Powell's speechy. So tonight, guys, I plan on going live at 7. I will say this, though. I'm going to plan on, at 6:30. I'll plan on going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. What I'll say, though, is if the markets start doing something, right? If Powell speaks at 1:30, the markets, he says something that I don't know. I don't know what he could say today that makes the market pump, but or dump. I mean, I think it'll end up being a nothing burger. When the dust settles, you could see some increased volatility in the short term. If you start seeing some crazy volatility, I'll hop on a little bit earlier and sort of do our thing here. But hey, I mean, at least we got something to look forward to today, right? Other than really the last month just being absolute sideways. At least we got a little action last night. At least we got something to look forward to today in 3 hours today. If you are a huge crypto fan, I would not necessarily watch Powell, because Powell is one of the most boring mother truckers in this earth. He sits there and he talks. I can't listen. I actually am interested in what he's saying, and I lose track of what he's saying because he just freaking talks and his tone is just so monotone. And as I said, I actually want to hear what he says, but I can't concentrate for half the time. So I like to just see what he says after the fact. But all right, I'll see you guys tonight. All right, I'm gonna call the stream for tonight as Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of do their thing here. We'll go over a bunch of shit tonight. I'll get a bunch of charts ready and stuff like that for tonight, and we'll have some fun. All right, 6:30 p.m. If we see volatility ahead of time, I will hop back on earlier. All right, later, my guys. Peace out. And as always, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't panic, say crypto most will not pick or signal, but don't be afraid to take profits in the bear market rallies until proven otherwise. All right, peace. Later, Gator.